to a video problem about word problems. In particular, we're dealing with percent tips. So here's the problem. You go to a restaurant with a friend and the total bill comes out to $53.85. You and your friend agree to split the bill and you want to give a 15% tip. How much money will you end up paying for your portion of the bill, including the tip? Okay, so tip, we also call that gratuity, but it's basically this idea that you want to reward people who are serving you whenever you do like a service business. So a lot of times in restaurants, you have people serving you, cleaning up your dishes, bringing you your food, taking your order. You give them a tip. That's just kind of reward their work, their hard effort that they're giving. So it's a cost on top of your actual food that you're paying for the bill. So you always end up paying a little bit more than what you're paying. Or at least you should if you're a good tipper. All right, so let's talk about how to calculate this out. So our total bill is $53. Total food bill is $53.85. So again, my strategy, I always like to rewrite word problems. I like to use charts. I like to use some sort of way of pulling out the information and rearranging it so it's easier to see, easier to kind of know what to work with. Paragraph form with a lot of words can be really kind of tricky and confusing. So here I'm rewriting it. So I know the total bill is $53.85. That's just the food. I also know, looking from the details, that I'm splitting it with a friend. So my portion is going to be half of that, so $53.85 divided by 2. And if I round it to the nearest cent, because I'm dealing with dollars, is $26.93. So I had to round it up just a little bit. Okay, so that's my portion. I'm taking care of that half of the bill. But then I want to give a tip. So tip is an extra additional 15%. So I need to figure out, okay, well, what is 15% of that amount right there? I have to pay $26.93, so 15%, turn that into a decimal, 0.15, because 15% is 15 out of 100. And I want to find 15% of $26.93. Okay, if I calculate that out, I get $4.04. Again, I rounded it to the nearest cent. Okay, so look at what we have now. We've got my total portion of 26, that's for the food, $26.93. Plus, I should add this amount to have a 15% tip. So the total bill including tip for my portion is, if I add these two together, $26.93 plus the tip, $4.04, and together that makes $30.97. All right, there we just solved it out. So we got our answer. I wanted to go over another alternative way to do this problem. So notice we found the whole portion, we found the tip separately and then added it just right there, $26.93 plus 4.04. There's another way to actually go about calculating because this is an increased cost, right? So another way we could do this is to say, okay, my $26.93, well, I'm going to multiply it by 1 because that's the full amount, but I'm also going to add 15% to it. So there is my cost plus the 15%. I can think of it as 1.15 times 26.93. And if I multiply those together, what's funny is, so in doing only one step like this, let's take my calculator out. $26.93 times 1.15, I get $30. And if I round it in their cent, 97 cents. So there we go. So I could have done this problem in only one mathematical step instead of doing two like I did here, finding the tip first and then adding it, which is basically two steps. It's the same math, it's the same answer, but it's kind of two different ways to think about increasing by a percent. This is what this problem is. We're having a set amount and we're increasing it by a certain amount. So hopefully that's helpful for you guys, and hopefully that encourages you guys to be good tippers.